those who are going to attend it the first time, let me just tell you, excuse me, the Staff Selection Commission basically conducts the combined graduate level exam. Now, this is basically what we call central services. For all the central services, that is Group B and Group C, and even yes, some Group D exams are also there. So these are the posts to which or job nature that you will be entering into. Now, Group B, Group C, Group D, what are the different types of posts that are there? You have inspector posts mostly. Then you have sub-inspector level posts. You have some posts which have a similar job nature like a stenographer, etc. Or even clerical posts are also available. Clear? So this is the nature of the exam. In this, again, you have basically what levels? Tier 1, Tier 2. And then Tier 3 is also there. But Tier 3, I'm not going to count it here because this Tier 1 and Tier 2 will decide your fate. Now, this is one exam where you have to understand minimum 10 to 15 lakh people will attempt the exam. That is Tier 1 alone, 10 to 15 lakh will attempt, and somewhere like 1 lakh will be selected to write Tier 2. Tier 1 consists of 4 sections: quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, general awareness, and English comprehension. Each section carries 25 marks. Sorry, 25 questions. Each section carries 25 questions. 25 into 4 is 100. 100, and each question will carry 2 marks, and you will have a total of 200 marks. That is Tier 1 for you. So Tier 1, it is important that now general awareness, let me tell you, this is from whatever is there in your current affairs and whatever is there in your NCRTs. The syllabus is a little vast if you see that way, because covering all the NCRTs and then attempting, then preparing even for current affairs, and then finally you only get 25 questions. As a result of which, if you see general awareness, more often than not, the marks scored by students are more or less the same. What makes a difference is the other sections: quant, logical reasoning, and English language. So these are the 3 sections that will actually decide your fate. So you need to keep a target of more than 150 score for your Tier 1. At the current levels of competition, it is better if you score more than 150. You will definitely have what? You will definitely have a greater chance of clearing the exam. Now, apart from this, this is the first section. The second section is pretty interesting. That is, for Tier 2, what do we have? In Tier 2, the scenario is such that you only have 2 sections there. One is quantitative aptitude. The other is the English language. For English language, you will have around 200 questions, each carrying 1 mark. Whereas for quantitative aptitude, you will have 80 questions, where each question will carry 2.5 mark. Ultimately, this will be out of 200. This also will be out of 200. So whatever you prepare for in Tier 1, its elaborated, extended version you will witness in Tier 2. Every chapter's most important questions, most important sections will definitely get covered in Tier 2. Tier 1 and Tier 2 together will decide your fate, whether you will clear the exam or not. Tier 3, Tier 4, etc. are almost qualifying in nature, so it will not make much of a difference. It is important that you score really well for tier 1 and tier 2 to be in a safe zone. Now, the advantage of being in a central government job obviously is that you will have Saturdays and Sundays holiday. That is the first and foremost advantage. Second of all, you will have a very good salary. Starting salary can easily be anywhere between 35,000 to 45,000 rupees. And on top of it, you have other benefits, gratuity, that this, etc. You don't get that level frequent transfers. So you will be more or less you will be in the same place of service. So it is a perfect combination of what is it, work and life balance that you will be able to achieve. So we are going to see how what is the nature of questions that have come from each section in the last few years. Question paper we will be discussing here from the previous years, and we will be seeing what are the general nature of pattern that is there. So we will be solving them just so that you will get an idea what to expect in the paper and what are the questions that you should be focusing on. So today, for that purpose, we will be taking up logical reasoning questions from the previous years. Any questions, people? Any doubts? Anything? Any queries?
No, sir.
Okay. Moving on. Consider four age pyramids given below, namely A, B, C, and Hamdan Khan. When will we have second tier? See, second tier, between the first and second tier, it can be anywhere between 3 to 6 months time period, depending upon, obviously, considering the fact that now a third wave is going on, and apparently they have discovered a new wave in South Africa, which is considered to be far more lethal, and out one in every three person will die. So that is what they say. So corona, everything in picture, and other factors, if you account for, there will be maximum 3 to 6 months of gap between your tier 1 and tier 2. So that will be the thing. Anyway, the first question, you may note it down. A, B, C, and D representing four different countries. Consider the four age pyramids given below, namely A, B, C, and D, representing four different countries. This is the pyramid. Four different types of pyramid. The question is, which one of them indicates the declining population? That is the question. Among this, which one of them will indicate a declining population? Okay, I have received my first answer, and the jury is divided between C and B. Okay, C again. Any other answer? C, B. These are the two answers that I've got. Anybody with any different answer other than that? Okay, so I'll just tell you what is the logic here. See, the logic is pretty much simple. Observe this graph very carefully, and what do you see? This is the person, this is the age. That is, so this part here indicates what? Babies. Correct? This is what it is. The baseline means it is zero age. Correct? And if you see the number of babies here, the baseline is huge, maximum babies. And as we go upwards, we see a reduction in the population, and it reduces even further here in A. But then baby manufacturing, if you see, the amount of births is like very, very high, because as you can clearly see, the young population, baby population is like very, very high. Let us take B. It is definitely less than A, babies. And there is a gradual decline in the aged population as we go higher and higher. Maybe let us say this is around 70 years old. So there is a decline, a gradual decline it is. What is the question they have asked? Their question that have asked is, what will indicate a declining population? What indicates a declining population? So declining population means, see D again. D also has what? Enough number of babies. And yes, it gradually declines. But then a true definition, textbook definition of declining population is one where the the total fertility rate is less than the total replacement rate. Now, what do you mean by the fertility rate? And what do you mean by replacement rate? Replacement rate simply means that is hum do, hamare do. The thing is, basically, if father and mother dies, their number in the population is replaced by their kids. Okay. So basically what is happening here, the parents' number got replaced by the kids. So if there were two people in a society, those two people died, but then they have two children. So this number two is replaced by the two. So it's a perfect balance. But then if the fertility rate is less than 2.1, what does it indicate? It basically indicates that there are lesser and lesser babies being produced in the society. Classic example for this is the southern states. Southern states, if you see today, southern states of our country today, if you see, the total fertility rate has actually dropped below the replacement rate. From this, we understand what is the indication or the inference that we get from here. Women are getting better rights. Women are studying more. Women are having a say with regard to family planning, all of that. So going by the logic of lesser number of babies, if you observe the bases here, there is only one option with a very small base, and that is C. Clear? C's babies are less, and we see what, as it goes upwards and upwards, there is a elderly population here. That is what we see. Initially, it expands. The middle age group are the ones who are there in maximum number, but then they are all getting aged. So eventually, if you see, what will this graph be a few years down the line, how it will start looking? It will start looking something like this. It will get longer, longer, longer. Finally, it will be just one single line where this will be the babies, this will be the old age. And eventually, it will come to a point where it will come to something like this. Very less babies and very high old population. This is what is going to happen with the state of Kerala or most of the southern states by by the year 2040 or 50. Very less amount of population. Clear, people? I just linked it with a current affair here. All right. I hope you understood the concept. So should you be knowing all this? From where will we get all this? This is given inside your NCERT textbook. So if you revise your NCERT textbook, you will actually get information such as these. Clear, people? Any doubts? हिंदी में भी आपको एक्सप्लेनेशन चाहिए? इज दैट व्हाट यू आर आस्किंग? Okay, okay. So just to satisfy the uh, crowd here, it's not that I'm very fluent in Hindi, but I will try. So बात सिर्फ इतना है कि देखो, जहां तक इस ग्राफ का, इस पिक्चर का सवाल है, गौर से देख लीजिए। पिक्चर ए, जहां 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 तक पिक्चर ए या फिर पिरामिड ए का सवाल है, इनका बेस बहुत लंबा है। बी का भी लंबा है लेकिन ए से ज्यादा नहीं। डी का भी अगर देखा जाएगा तो बी से थोड़ा बहुत बराबर है। सबसे कम बेस जो है वो सिर्फ सी को ही है। इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब सिर्फ इतना ही है कि सी में नए बच्चे जो पैदा हो रहे हैं वो काफी कम है। तो इसलिए क्या हो रहा है? इसलिए जहां पर बच्चों का, नए बच्चों का पैदाइश जब वो कम होते जाते हैं, तो उसका सिर्फ एक ही मतलब है कि वो सोसाइटी आगे बढ़ रहा है। If you actually see countries like Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Switzerland, Canada, Europe, largely, if you see London, etc., if you see, वहां पर जो बच्चे पैदा हो रहे हैं वो बहुत कम होते हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि औरत बाहर जा सकते हैं, काम कर सकते हैं, पढ़ाई कर सकते हैं। शादी अगर ना करोगे तो भी ठीक है वहां पर। So there are other things to life rather than just getting married. And when that happens, when woman has a say with regard to her life, that is called real woman empowerment. And when that happens, automatically क्या होता है? तो जितने भी औरतें माँ बन सकते हैं वो माँ नहीं बनते, क्योंकि वो लोग करियर के पीछे या फिर व्हाट इज इट, टू स्टे सिंगल, ऐसे ऐसे कुछ व्हाट इज इट, डिसीजंस वो लाइफ में लेते हैं। तो इसी के वजह से कारण क्या होता है? बच्चे जो पैदा होते हैं वो कम होते जाता है। तो व्हाट हैपेंस देयर? बच्चे कम हैं, लेकिन अगर यहां पर देखा जाएगा तो जो जो पॉपुलेशन में जितने भी लोग बूढ़े हैं वो बहुत ज्यादा है। जब भी बच्चों से ज्यादा बूढ़े बूढ़े लोग बहुत ज्यादा होते हैं, तब हम कहते हैं क्या? कि वहां का पॉपुलेशन डिक्लाइन होते जा रहा है। जैसे कि अगर इंडिया का व्हाट इज इट, पिरामिड स्ट्रक्चर अगर हम बना देगा तो वी विल फाइंड दैट वी हैव अ वेरी youthful population. The population is still very young here. Whereas in the case of China and all, what do we see? Very low birth rate, but a very old population is there now. That is why China has even decided to change their one child policy there. Clear? So this is what it is. I hope that meaning was explained well enough and people understood it. Okay, moving on. Which of the two towns has a higher number of persons with diabetes? Quickly make this diagram. Two diagrams are there. The question is, which town has higher diabetes level? That is a question. Make a note of this, town B. So the question is, which town has a higher number of persons with diabetes? And these are your options. B, B, B. Okay. Now I'll explain the logic to you. Okay, everybody has marked it as B. Let me ask you something here. The question is, who has a higher number of diabetes? Correct? Have they given us the total population in town A? Have they given us the total population in town A? No. So let us say, if there are 100 people in town A, we will have 18 people who are having diabetes. Correct? There are 100 people in town A, then that means there are 18 people with diabetes in town A. Anybody having a doubt with that? Because diabetes is 18%, that is 18 by 100, that is 18%. That into 100 will give me 18. Clear? Any doubts? Okay. Now, if town B is also having 100, then yes, by the logic, 24 people is having diabetes. But let me ask you, is it anywhere mentioned in the question that the population in town A and town B are the same? Has it been said whether town A has a higher population than town B, or town B has a higher population than town A? Has anything been said here about the population of town A or town B? Then how will you even arrive at this answer here? How can you arrive at that answer? As long as they have not even given you the options, sorry, the total number of people in either of the town, how can you even come to a conclusion that town B has a higher share? What if in town B, you're only having, let us say, 50 people? So 24% of 50, that is almost what? 24, that is almost like one fourth, almost a quarter. Almost a quarter means less than 12. Less than 12 people have diabetes there. So that is 12 is the number. Here I got 18 as the number. So it highly depends upon the distribution of disease, or the absolute number of the people who are having diabetes is highly dependent upon the total population. And I have no clue as to what it is, either in town A or in town B. Nothing has been given here to even assume that both the towns are having the same population. Therefore, what will be my answer? No inference can be drawn. Getting the idea? Basically, जहां आंकड़ा दिया नहीं है कि टाउन बी में कितने लोग रह रहे हैं, या फिर टाउन ए पे कितने लोग रह रहे हैं, या फिर ये भी बताया नहीं गया है कि टाउन ए और टाउन बी का आंकड़ा जो है पॉपुलेशन, जहां तक पॉपुलेशन के सवाल है, तो वहां पर अगर आप देखोगे तो कुछ भी बताया गया नहीं है कि अगर टाउन ए का पॉपुलेशन टाउन बी से ज्यादा है या फिर कम है या फिर बराबर है, कुछ भी दिया नहीं है। तो व्हाट इज द थिंग? You are not supposed to assume. You're not supposed to assume anything. It is a criminal offense as far as SSC is concerned. Do not assume. अगर दिया है तो उसके depending upon the given fact, उसके मुताबिक you solve the problem. When nothing is given, no inference can be drawn. What is the purpose of giving such question? These questions purpose is only simple, that is to make you waste your time. waste your time and to check whether you have the skills to find out the easiest way to do a job. क्या आपके अंदर वो स्किल है जहां से आप एक, अगर आपके पास एक समस्या आते हैं तो क्या आप उसका हल जल्दी से जल्द ढूंढ लेगा या बहुत वक्त लगाकर ढूंढ लेगा? तो ये क्वालिटी आपके अंदर है कि नहीं, ये समझने के लिए दे गिव यू दिस टाइप ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स where the answer will be hiding in plain sight. Little bit of common sense if you use, you will find out that there is nothing, there is no calculation involved here, and that will be about it. Clear, people? Moving on. अगले सवाल की तरफ, same question. What can we say about persons with more than one disease from these graphs? Once again, the jury is divided. Okay. Okay. D and C. तो जब भी आपके पास कोई ऐसे कोई सवाल आते हैं, देखो बात सिर्फ ये है कि जब आप काम पे जाओगे, जब आप ये एग्जाम क्लियर करने के बाद काम पे जाओगे, तो half of the jobs in this are having an investigative nature to it. जैसे कि अगर देखा जाएगा तो सीबीआई में आपको नौकरी लगा देगा, आपको एनआई में नौकरी मिलेगा, आपको सीबीआईसी में काम मिलेगा, जैसे कि सेंट्रल बोर्ड ऑफ इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस एंड कस्टम्स, और आपको इनकम टैक्स में भी काम मिलेगा, आपको एनफोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट में भी काम मिलने का चांसेस है। तो अगर आप देखा जाएगा तो आपका जो काम, जो है काम करने का तरीका जो है, उन सभी में एक इन्वेस्टिगेटर का रोल छुपा हुआ है। So if you actually observe this now, if I get such a data, what is the first thing that I'm going to do? 13 plus 18, 31. 31 plus 13, 44. 44 plus 22, 66. 66 plus 34, 100%। यानी कि ये बराबर है। अगर हर एक बंदे का, हर एक व्हाट इज इट, डिजीज का आंकड़ा अगर आप निकालोगे तो आपको डायबिटीज का कितना लोग है, कितना लोग डायबिटीज के वजह से बीमार है, हाई ब्लड प्रेशर के वजह से बीमार है, हार्ट डिजीज की वजह से बीमार है, ओबेसिटी की वजह से बीमार है, या फिर अदर दूसरे कोई और वजह वजह के ऊपर वो लोग बीमार है, इन सारा आंकड़ा अगर आप टोटल करके ले लोगे तो you will get the total number of people in town A, क्योंकि वो 100% आ रहा है। ठीक है, अब टाउन बी देख लेते हैं। टाउन बी ऐड कर लो जरा, 20, 24, 19, 30, 28 जरा ऐड करके मुझे बताओ कि टोटल कितना आ रहा है। What is the total that you get when you add up each of these diseases in town B? $121। अब ये कैसे हो सकता है? हमें स्कूल में या कॉलेज में वी नो ऑलवेज वी टेक ऑलवेज वी आर टॉट दैट इज द टोटल इज ऑलवेज व्हाट द टोटल टोटल जो है वो है 100%, है ना। टोटल जो है वो 100% है, अगर उससे ज्यादा हो नहीं सकता। ये तो प्रैक्टिकल कॉमन सेंस है, वी नो दैट टोटल इज ऑलवेज सपोज टू बी 100%, नॉट मोर देन दैट। तो फिर यहां पर अगर 121 आ गया है तो इसका मतलब क्या है? अब ये मत बोलो कि क्वेश्चन गलत है, वो मत बोल दो। People have framed the question very intelligently. I will explain this to you by giving you a small question here. That is, in a classroom, 70 percentage plays cricket. ठीक है? 40 percentage plays football. अब ये 70 और 40 अगर मैं ऐड करूंगा तो मुझे मिलेगा 110%। इसका मतलब क्या हुआ अभी? 100% से भी ज्यादा बच्चे हैं क्लास के अंदर, वो कैसे हो जाएगा? हाँ, कुछ बच्चे हैं जो बोथ क्रिकेट और फुटबॉल दोनों खेलते हैं। गेटिंग द पिक्चर हियर, देयर आर अ फ्यू किड्स हु आर प्लेइंग बोथ क्रिकेट एंड फुटबॉल। तो उसी लॉजिक के मुताबिक अगर सोचा जाएगा तो डोंट यू थिंक टाउन बी में कुछ ऐसे भी लोग हैं जिनको शायद डायबिटीज के साथ डायबिटीज के साथ हाई बीपी भी हो, या हाई बीपी के साथ हार्ट डिजीज भी हो, या हार्ट डिजीज के साथ ओबिसिटी भी हो। कैसे भी देखा जाए, इसका सिर्फ यही मतलब है कि कुछ ऐसे बंदे हैं, अनहेल्थी लोग हैं टाउन बी के अंदर, जिन्हें मोर देन वन डिजीज दे आर सफरिंग फ्रॉम। तो व्हाट इज द क्वेश्चन? There are likely to be persons with more than one disease in town A? Absolutely not. There are likely to be more persons with more than one disease in town B. That is your answer. अब समझ में आ गया सभी को इस लॉजिक? गेटिंग द पिक्चर? क्वेश्चंस इसी तरह आ जाएंगे, जहां पर आप अगर बैठ देखोगे तो पहले बार जब देखोगे तो आपको ऐसा लगेगा कि अरे यार व्हाट अ टफ क्वेश्चन दिस इज, व्हाट इज द आंसर टू इट, यू विल वंडर। लेकिन जब सॉल्यूशन के थोड़ा ठंडे दिमाग से अगर आप देखोगे, और आंसर विल बी लिटरली अंडर योर नोज, नाक के नीचे आंसर होगा। बस थोड़ा बहुत ठंडे दिमाग से सोचना चाहिए, और हर एक सवाल का इजी तरीका क्या है वो आपको खोज लेना चाहिए। बस डोंट गो एंड वर्क हार्ड, वर्क स्मार्ट। क्लियर? सो आई होप यू आर स्टार्टिंग टू गेट अ हैंग ऑफ दिस। मूविंग ऑन, consider the following velocity time graph. It shows two trains starting simultaneously on parallel tracks. तो ये वेलोसिटी टाइम ग्राफ है दो ट्रेन के बारे में जो पैरेलल ट्रैक से शुरू किया है। ठीक है, दिस इज द ग्राफ, मेक अ नोट ऑफ इट। With reference to the above graph, which one of the following statements is not correct? Which is the statement that is not correct? Train B has an initial acceleration greater than that of train A. Train B is faster than train A at all times. Both trains have the same velocity at time t01. Both trains travel the same distance in time 2 units. Okay, I've started receiving my answers. Okay, jury is divided. Okay, jury is really divided here. Okay, we have got all the varieties now, so I will come to the conclusion. So what do we understand here? This is a velocity time graph, है ना? And this is the what is it? This is the graph for train A. ये जो ग्राफ आपको देख रहा है, ये जो स्ट्रेट लाइन जो देख रहा है वो है ट्रेन ए, ठीक है? ट्रेन ए का लाइन है। ये वाला जो लाइन आपको देख रहा है यहाँ पर, जो कर्व्ड लाइन है वो है ट्रेन बी, ठीक है? सो इफ आई क्लोज दिस आई गेट अ ट्रायंगल, है ना? सो we know right angle triangles area is half into base into height. अब जब बेस इंटू हाइट में मार रहा हूं तो बेस इंटू हाइट यानी कि इस ट्रायंगल का एरिया अगर मैं निकालूं तो वेलोसिटी इंटू टाइम, है ना? जैसे कि ये यहाँ जो तो यहाँ ये जो है, ये बन गया मेरा वेलोसिटी, और ये जो यहाँ पर है ये बन गया मेरा टाइम। अब वेलोसिटी इंटू टाइम में करूंगा तो मुझे क्या मिलेगा? v into t, speed into time is what? Speed into time or velocity into time, what does it mean? Distance, है ना? तो ये बन गया मेरा डिस्टेंस, यानी कि एक कर्व के नीचे जो एरिया जो है या फिर जहां तक वेलोसिटी टाइम का ग्राफ जो है, if you actually find the area under the particular curve or the graph, in this particular case a linear graph, this is for train A. If I find out the area under that graph, I will get what? I can calculate the distance. Clear? That is my distance there. उसी लॉजिक के मुताबिक अगर देखा जाएगा तो ट्रेन बी के बी का भी अभी मैं, ये है व्हाट इज इट, ट्रेन बी का अभी देखा जाएगा तो ये है उसका ग्राफ ट्रेन बी का। ट्रेन ए का मैंने पहले से ही निकाल दिया, ये है ट्रेन ए का एरिया। अब ट्रेन बी भी है, तो ट्रेन बी का जो डिस्टेंस जो है वो है व्हाट? द कर्व प्लस वॉट एवर एरिया वी फाउंड फॉर ट्रेन ए, वो डिस्टेंस, है ना? ट्रेन ए का मैंने ले लिया, ये जो स्ट्रेट लाइन के नीचे जितने भी एरिया जो है, ये अगर इस एरिया का वैल्यू मुझे पता है तो दैट विल गिव मी द डिस्टेंस ट्रैवल बाय ट्रेन ए। Similarly, the area under the curve B, if I calculate it, that will give me what? The total distance traveled by train A, sorry, train B, which is nothing but the area of this curve plus the area under train A. So, distance traveled by dB is equal to curve of B plus distance traveled by A. Tell me, is the distance traveled by A and B equal? So, what is the statement here? Both trains travel the same distance in time to units. Is it so? Does both the train travel the same distance? From the picture we found out, the area is different for both. So automatically, what does it mean? This is the only option which is wrong. That is the only inference that you can make out from it. Any doubts here, people? Similar problem. Consider the following distance time graph. Graph shows three athletes, A, B, and C, running side by side for a 30-kilometer race. जरा ये नोट कर लो, ये चीज यहाँ पर जो है ये नोट कर लो। Make a note of this, or rather, do one thing. I'll give you the question first. With reference to the above graph, consider the following statements. Take down this. Take down the question first, then I'll show you the graph, because noting down that graph is not easy. And yeah, in your exam also, it will be an online exam. That is, it will be a computer based online exam. It will be. So again, pen and paper only limited, usage only you can do. You should actually mark the answer by just staring into the graph and then arriving at the answer. That is what you're supposed to do. So make a note of this. Make a note of these 3 questions. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? Option A, 1 only, 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. Note this one also down, and then we will go to the graph. Just take down this part also. Okay, people. Now this is your graph. Look into it. Don't draw it or anything. Look into it. Look at the question, and then try to answer. Okay. For your exam, how the pattern will be is you'll have this graph here on the left hand side, and your question will appear here, and options will be given to you here in to mark. Okay, this is how it will be given. Instead, we have taken it down. So go through it and come up with the answer. First answer, option B. Any other answer? C. Okay, jury is divided. B. So let us see now. With reference to the above graph, consider the following statements. The race was won by A. B was ahead of A up to 25 kilometer, 26 mark. C ran very slowly from the beginning. So this winning statement and the statement on C being going very slowly from the beginning. Let us try to see that. First sentence's race was won by A. Let us see that one aspect here. Now, this is A. That is A covered a distance of 30 kilometer in less than what? 30 minutes. Correct. B also reached a distance of 30 in how many minutes? 35 minutes. Whereas C stopped somewhere. Maybe he would have fainted and fallen. कहीं बेहोश होकर गिर गया है. तो C को तो छोड़ो. C ने तो what is it रेस पूरा भी नहीं किया है. अब इसमें अगर देखा जाएगा तो पहले 30 किलोमीटर किसने कंप्लीट किया कम वक्त में? तो द आंसर इज ए, बिकॉज वी नो ए 30 मिनट से कम वक्त लिया है, बी ने 35 मिनट लिया है, सी तो बेहोश होकर कहीं गिर गया है. तो what is the final conclusion? Race was won by A? Absolutely yes. Statement 1 is correct. Statement 1 कौन कौन से ऑप्शन में नहीं है उसे हटा दो वहां से, क्योंकि करेक्ट पूछा गया है, कितना करेक्ट है ये पूछा गया है. ठीक है, बाकी कितना बचा हुआ है? 1 1 3 more options. Let us see. C ran very slowly from the beginning. शुरुआत से ही सी ने बहुत व्हाट इज इट धीरे से चल रहे थे. ये भी देख लेते हैं. लुक एट द लॉजिक हियर. लॉजिक यहां से आते हैं. अगर 30 मिनट का 30 किलोमीटर का डिस्टेंस का देखा जाएगा तो पहले ए पहुंचा, बाद में बी पहुंचा, बाद में सी पहुंचा, या सी कभी नहीं पहुंचा, व्हाटएवर. यानी कि जो भी तेजी से जा रहे हैं उनका ग्राफ सबसे नीचे होगा, उसके बाद जो भी लोग आ रहे हैं उनका ग्राफ ऊपर 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 आते रहेंगे. Whoever would have gone very slowly, okay, they will always come at the top. Whoever would have traveled really fast, they will be at the bottom. ठीक है, अब देखो इसी लॉजिक यहां से कहां से मुझे मिला ये लॉजिक? मुझे यहां से मिला था मेरे फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट से. आई विल ट्राई अप्लाइंग द लॉजिक हियर. ये देखो, अब पहला का 10 किलोमीटर अगर देखोगे तो 10 किलोमीटर ट्रैवल करने के लिए सी ने लिया है 5 मिनट से ज्यादा कम टाइम. बी का देखा जाएगा तो बी ने 5 मिनट से ज्यादा वक्त लिया है. ए का देखा जाएगा तो ए तो तकरीबन 20 मिनट के आसपास लिया हुआ है. यानी कि इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? सी वॉज ऑलवेज ट्रैवलिंग ग्रेटर देन बी एंड ए एट अ ग्रेटर स्पीड. गेटिंग द पिक्चर पीपल? A simple observation skill will tell you this. वापस देखो, यहां पर देखो, सी ने तकरीबन 10 मिनट से कम वक्त लिया है 15 किलोमीटर कवर करने के लिए. बी का अगर देखा जाएगा तो बी ने 10 मिनट से ज्यादा वक्त लिया है. ए का देखा जाएगा तो एक 20 मिनट से ज्यादा वक्त लिया है. यानी कि हर बार सी वॉज एक्चुअली ट्रैवलिंग फास्टर देन बी एंड ए शुरुआत से. ठीक है, तो इसका ये मतलब क्या हुआ? सी रैन वेरी स्लोली फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग. ये स्टेटमेंट गलत है. द स्टेटमेंट इज रॉन्ग. व्हाट डज दैट मीन? आई कैन एलिमिनेट ऑप्शन डी. अब रहा सवाल सिर्फ टू का. बस टू के बारे में कंफर्मेशन मिलना है मुझे. तो अगर टू का देखा जाएगा तो क्या है? B was ahead of A up to 25 kilometer 26th mark. यानी कि 25 किलोमीटर तक B A से आगे थे. तो 25 किलोमीटर यहां पर है. ठीक है, 26 के मिनट पर 26 के मिनट पर व्हाट इज इट? B was ahead of A up to 25 kilometer 26 mark. So we will see. This is a little tricky here. I will agree with that because sometimes they do this. In and around this point it is. where if you see B is lower and A is cutting it over and above. Getting the idea? A is cutting it from a height. B is a little lower. Clear? So the idea here is B was ahead of A up to 25 kilometer 26 mark. Ahead of A up to 25 kilometer क्या B ahead थे. बस यही जानना है हमें. तो वो भी देख लेते हैं. Another way of analyzing it is what? Anywhere you take. Here to 5 kilometer to travel 5 kilometer, A took around 10 minutes, B took only 5 minutes. 10 किलोमीटर कवर करने के लिए 10 मिनट से ज्यादा कम वक्त लिया है बी ने. ए ने तो हद ही कर ली. ए हैज टेकन क्लोज टू मोर देन 15 मिनट्स. 15 किलोमीटर कवर करने में लेस देन 15 फॉर बी. ए तो 20 से भी 20 के आसपास लिया हुआ है. सो ओवरऑल इफ यू सी टिल द 25th kilometer, yes, B was much ahead of A. That statement is true, which means this statement is true, which means answer is option B. Clear, everybody? Any doubts here? Most of you have managed to answer it correctly. Congratulations to everyone. That clearly shows you're getting a hang of it. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Consider the following figures: 2, 6, 80, 24, 3, question mark, 120, 36. Options 7, 8, 9, 10. What is the missing number? What is the missing number? Take down the question. What is the missing number? 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is your box. Always answer, give it, okay. So option C, I have received as an answer. Anybody else? Okay. I think it is pretty straightforward. Correct. That is okay. I will straight away go for the answer now because most of you are answering it correctly. Pretty simple. This is always need to establish what is the relationship here. That is 2 into 3 is 6. 6 into 4 is 24. What do we have here then? That means by the same logic, 3 into 3 should be 9, and 9 into 4 should give me 36. It is correct. Relationship is established. That means question mark is what? 9. Then the answer is option C. Any doubts, people? Study the following figure. A person goes from A to B always, moving to the right or downwards along the lines. How many different routes can be adopted? Can he adopt? Just take down the question first, then we will look at the diagram. Select the correct answer from the codes given below. 4, 5, 6, 7. Just take it down. Correct answer code 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is your diagram. How many ways are there by which a person can reach from point A to point B if they move to the right or downwards along the line? Okay, I have received my first answer.
Oh,
Okay, jury is once again divided. But yeah, thankfully it is between two options only, 5 and 6. So let us see. How and all can A reach B? So somebody is standing here. Okay. So which direction they are facing, that has not been told. Person either moves downwards or moves towards the right. That is the only thing that they have said. So that way, if you go, let us say the person is facing in this direction. Okay. A person facing in that direction means his right side will be here. Correct. Downward also will be here. Okay. That logic, if I go, that is one. Correct. That is one way. Going like that and then coming down. What is the second thing? Can go like this, take a right, come down, and then go to B. So that is two. What is the other way then? Go like this, come down, go here, come down here. That is three right there with respect to one half of the area. Similarly, if I start doing the counting from the other side, what do I get? This will be my 4. This will be my 5. And finally, this will be my 6. So 6 ways are there by which a person can reach from point A to point B by either turning right or by going down. Don't get confused here for the simple reason that don't assume which direction it is. Ultimately, the point is when they have not said which direction they are facing, you can explore all the possibilities. Clear, people? Any doubts here? Directions for the following 3 items. Read the passage given below, study the graph that follows, and answer the 3 items given below the figure. Now, this is what I would call the one of the most looked forward to section. Why? Because from a single time investment you make, 3 questions immediately go into your pocket. You should actually keep a watch for such questions for the simple reason that you get it correct, you can save on a lot of time, and you can utilize that save time for other sections for a tougher problem. The only problem with such type of questions is one point, any point you go wrong in analyzing the data, you will lose all the 3 questions marks, which is 3 into 2. I think the negative mark is around 3, this thing, 0.5 it is. So what is it? 3 into 2, 6 by 0.5, 0.3 marks you will end up losing. Clear, people? So this is the thing. 3 marks you will end up losing finally. So now, first you read the passage. Passage is a little big. But yeah, just read the passage and understand it. Okay. And then we will move to the graph. No, if you skip the answer for skipping a question, there is no negative mark. You can skip a question, there is no negative mark for it. Done, people? Now this is the diagram, but we will come to that. Write down this question. Looking at the diagram, can you answer the question? The incubation phase. Why people you are taking so much of time? Just look at the diagram, no need to take it down. Try to answer this question here. Which region or region of the curve correspond or corresponds to the incubation phase of the infection? Okay, jury is definitely divided. Okay, पहला चीज ये जो incubation phase जो है ना, इसका मतलब क्या होता है? Incubation phase, anybody? Incubation का मतलब क्या है? Infection to symptom appearance, है ना? तो इंक्यूबेशन का मतलब ये हुआ है कि अभी भी वो बच्चा है. समझ में आ रहे हो? वो बच्चा बैक्टीरिया अभी भी बच्चा है, वो जवान नहीं हुआ है अभी तक. ठीक है, तो बच्चा का फेस में अगर देखा जाएगा तो यहां देखो, ये वाला चीज देखो, गौर से देखो. This is like, if you see there is a slight increase, that means this is the incubation phase. Number of bacteria is at its lowest when at the beginning stage, the incubation stage, है ना? बच्चा है अभी भी, क्योंकि it has not yet started to multiply. then multiplication is yet to happen. So it has just got injected into the body. तो उस हिसाब से देखा जाएगा तो now tell me what will be the answer. Option A. Everybody understood? देखो एक बार आप लोगों ने ओके इन्फरेंस कैनॉट बी ड्रॉन. इसका ये मतलब नहीं कि हर सवाल का आप बिना सोचे समझे जाकर वो ही डाल देंगे. लॉजिकल रीजनिंग का सेक्शन है. हर एक आंसर का एक लॉजिक होना बहुत बहुत जरूरी है. ठीक है. So that is the thing. So I hope now you got the answer, which is option A. Now moving on to the next question. Which region of the curve indicates that the person began showing the symptoms of infection? पहले ये सवाल नोट डाउन कर लो. Note this question down and then let me know. Now try answering that question. Okay, I received my first answer. Okay, second answer. Any other answer, people? Okay. So here, if you see, now at A stage, we saw there was very little amount of bacteria for a long period of time. There is no change in the value. बट जहां तक बी का सवाल है, आप अगर देखा जाएगा तो छोटे ही इस वक्त के दौरान the number of bacteria has started to pick up. So that point where the bacteria starts increasing in your body, obviously your body will start showing the symptoms of it. So symptom के हिसाब से अगर देखा जाएगा तो which region of the curve that indicates the person began showing symptoms of infection means definitely some symptoms will be seen. Either तो बुखार या काशी कुछ ना तो कुछ zarur you will find it, because that many level of bacteria is there in your body means it is definitely going to give some or the other symptom, immediate symptom. So the answer is option B. Getting the idea? That is why I told you read the question very carefully. Person began showing the symptoms. तो ऐसा नहीं होगा कि आपके अंदर शरीर के अंदर इतना ज्यादा बैक्टीरिया इतने कम टाइम में बढ़ गया और आपके शरीर कोई सिम्टम ना बाहर ना दिखाए, ये नामुमकिन है. Some symptom will be there, some uncomfortableness will be there. Getting the idea, people? Any doubts? Okay, moving on to the next question. Which region of the curve indicates that the treatment yielded effective relief? ये सवाल भी नोट करो, उसके साथ उनका ऑप्शंस भी, and let me know when you're done. Try answering the question now, looking at the diagram. Which region of the curve indicates that the treatment yielded effective relief? Effective relief. हर शब्द इंपॉर्टेंट है एसएससी के एग्जाम के दौरान. जो भी सवाल आते हैं, यू हैव टू सी व्हाट इज द वर्ड. तो इफेक्टिव वर्ड यहां पर बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. इस हिसाब से अगर देखा जाएगा तो ट्रीटमेंट शुरू किया होगा कहां से? तो डी तक द बैक्टीरिया रीच्ड इट्स पीक. डी से आगे देखा जाएगा तो थोड़ा थोड़ा बहुत कम होते जा रहा है. लेकिन ई रीजन का देखा जाएगा तो इट इज ड्रास्टिकली रिड्यूसिंग, कमिंग डाउन. तो यहाँ पर बैक्टीरिया जितना जितना कम होते जाएंगे, उतना उतना आदमी will start recovering faster. And that is exactly the question two. The question is, which region of the curve indicates treatment yielded effective relief? आपको रिलीफ कब आ जाएगा? आपको रिलीफ तब आ जाएगा जब आपके शरीर के अंदर जितने भी बैक्टीरिया थे वो खत्म हो जाते हैं या फिर कम हो जाते हैं. तो इस लॉजिक के मुताबिक अगर देखा जाएगा तो द आंसर इज ऑप्शन ई. Sorry, option C, which is the region E. Clear, people? So that is the logic here. Any doubts here? Okay, moving on. There are 4 routes to travel from city A to city B and 6 routes from city B to city C. How many routes are possible to travel from city A to city C? Option A 24, option B 12, option C 10, option D 8. Note down the question and solve the answer. I got my first answer. Anybody? Once again, jury is divided. So this is pretty straightforward question. That is 4 routes to travel from city A to city B. All right. So A, B, and then C. So what do I do? A to B, how many routes are there? I have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And B to C, if you see, how many routes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct? How many routes are possible to travel from city A to city C? That is a question. Logic is simple. Let us say I take the first route here to travel from A to B. After reaching B, I can take either this, or this. That means if I take the first road, I have 6 possibilities here. Okay. Second road, if I take the second road, once again, I will have 6 possibilities. That means each road from A to B offers me 6 possibilities. What is 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6? 24. Getting the idea, people? Any doubts? Moving on. Now, this is an arithmetic progression type problem. Try doing it. Let me see how many of you at least can you can solve it even without using a formula, but it will become a little too long. But otherwise, also just take down this question. From logical reasoning, it is sometimes in logical reasoning, you will even get questions on quantitative aptitude. So try solving it. So these are your options: 4950, 4250, 3600, rupees 650. Try solving it. So for the first day, it is 200. Second day, it is 250. Third day, it is 300. Then it is 350. Then it is 400, 450, 500, 550, 600, 650. Okay. 10th day they have asked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 50 into 5, 250. 2. 2 3s are 6 plus 6, 12 plus 8, 20 plus 10, 30 plus 12, 42. 4250. Clear? This is one way of doing it, or rather the lengthy way of doing it. Whereas there is an arithmetic progression formula, which is Sn is equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, where n is the number of terms. What they have asked? 10 days. If 10 days they delay their work, what should be the penalty? So n will be what? N will be equal to 10. Then what is A? A is always the first term of the equation. That is what A is. So A is equal to 200. N we already know it is 10. So that is fine. D is what? D is the common difference. Here the common difference is how much? 50. So D is equal to 50. Now if I substitute the values, what do I get? 10 by 2 into 2A. That is 400. Plus n minus 1 is what? 9. 9 into 50. So finally, what do you have? 5, 400 plus 450, which is 850. And 850 into 5 is 4250. Clear, people? When you're done, let me know. Consider the figure given below and answer the items that follows. This diagram, you just make a note of it, or no need to make a note. Just note this question here. Note down this question. Note down these options also. Done, people. Now try to solve this looking at the diagram, and now look at the question and tell me what will be the answer. Okay, there is no response at all. In the figure above, shown above, OP1 and OP2 are two plane mirrors. That means these, whatever is marked here, these are the plane mirrors. Okay. Then what else we have? S is the direction of a beam of light falling on the mirror OP1. So this is a beam of light falling on OP1. So light will hit here. Okay. Then what else? The direction of the reflected beam of light from the mirror OP2 will be. So what will happen to the direction of the light from OP2? That is a question. And this is perfect 90-degree. So in that case, if a light actually falls here, definitely it will bounce. Definitely it will come and hit here. Once it hits here, it will bounce off to OP2, and then it'll, after hitting it like this, from here where it will go, it will go in this direction outwards. This will be the general nature of its path. Okay, let us see. Perpendicular to the direction of S. Perpendicular to the direction of S means they are asking the light that comes from OP2. By no stretch of imagination, this direction is perpendicular. So that option is wrong. 45-degree to the direction of S. This is not 45-degree. This is like more than 180-degree, or 180-degree angle is there. So 45-degree is also not there. 45-degree from the direction of S would mean this is the direction. From here, either this way, 45-degree, or either this way, 45-degree. This is the possibility. But no, that is also not the case. Finally, opposite and parallel to the direction of S, which is true. Because if you see, the light that is reflecting from OP2, it is moving exactly in the opposite direction when compared to what? When compared to the light which is coming in this direction. Okay, so it will be opposite and parallel. And there is a reason for it is again because this here is 90-degree. Clear, people? Any doubts here? Any questions, people? Any doubts? Consider the following figure and answer the item given below. A light could be moving in 60-degree. That is not the point here. The point here is, first of all, how do you know light is moving in 60-degree? This can be either 30-degree or 45-degree or 60-degree also. Correct? So if it comes and hits here, okay, then after this from here, it will get reflected and it will go and hit here. That much is also not, because one beam of light will hit here. From here, where it will go? So there is definitely, after hitting here, it will move in the opposite direction. Forget all the angles. There is only one option here which talks about opposite and parallel to the direction of S. So that clearly satisfies what this condition right here. Clear, people? Any other angle, it is simply not possible. Don't take down the figure. Just take this down. What is the minimum number of different colors? Just take down this question and then I will show you the diagram. Now try answering this. Common sensical question this is. Okay. Minimum how many colors will be required to paint such that no two rings have the same paint color? So I started receiving my answers. Option B. Any other answers, people? What is the minimum number of different colors required to paint the figure given above such that no two adjacent regions have the same color? So, because there is total radio silence, let me just put it up for you people. Red, if I paint here, I can paint red here. I can paint red here. Then I can paint it here. Correct? So that is done. Now the other color what I can use is, let's say I use green. So green I will use here. Green again I will use it here. Green I will use it here. And green I will use it here. Now what about this big inner circle? Can I use red? No, because if I use red here, then red and red will come in contact, which is not the need of the question. What is the question's demand? That is, no two adjacent regions should have the same color. So adjacent region shouldn't have the same color. That means I cannot use red. I cannot use green. What other color? Let us say I use blue. So blue here, blue here, blue, blue, blue. Okay. Now the inner circle after that, there I can use my old colors, right? I can use red, 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 and then green, 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 green. Inside that, what can I use? Let's say I use blue again. What about deep inside? Deep inside, I can use red again. So overall, you see how many colors have I used now then? 3. Getting the picture? Anybody having a doubt with it now? Consider the following figure and answer the items that follows. Take down this question. Sir, in previous question, if we start coloring from inside, we need to use 4 colors. Okay. How is it here? Going by the same logic, I'll take a different color now. Let's say blue, or I'll blue itself. I took blue here. Okay, got it, got it, got it, got it. And here, if I use red, if I use red here, then I cannot not use obviously blue and red. So I'll have to use green and maybe another color like yellow. So you will need 4. Okay, true. Your argument is true. But the only problem is this word here, minimum. By that logic, it is 3 is the answer. Now going forward, I hope you all would have taken down this question. Why can't we use blue? Because no 2 adjacent regions should have the same color. That is the reason. No 2 adjacent regions are supposed to have the same color. So if I use blue here, which is the adjacent region to that, so I cannot use blue there. Acha, in the third round you're asking. Okay, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, wait a second. I think there is a logic to it. So blue I used here. Inner circle I cannot use, but I can use blue here. Okay. Okay. Then if I use red I have used here. So clearly I cannot use red here, but I can use some other color here, which will be green. And still it will be 3 only, I guess, Alva. It's only going to be 3 again. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay. So green it is. We are having it late in the night. I think even my faculties are going off to sleep. Anyway, this is correct. This is absolutely correct. Any which way you take it, inside or outside, it is going to be 3 colors only. So I hope the explanation is clear. Correct, correct. You're correct. You're correct, Aisha. Very good observation. Correct. So that is the deal. You take it from inside or outside, it becomes the same. I hope now this is clear. This part is clear. Mr. Anwar, I hope you understood the message. Okay then. So moving on, I hope you would have taken down this question. This is the diagram. Please tell me what is the answer. Done, people? Okay, I have got my first answer. Okay. The only problem is that option is not there. So just carefully check your answer again. A square is divided into 4 rectangles and you're unable to see the answers. Is the screen visible to everybody? Fine. A square is divided into 4 rectangles as shown above. The length of the sides of rectangles are natural numbers. The areas of 2 rectangles are indicated in the figure. What is the length of each side of the square? So this is the area of the small rectangle. What is area of a rectangle? Length into breadth. So if length into breadth is equal to 15, that only means what? One of it, either the length or the breadth is 15, is 5 and 3. 5 and 3 are the values because that is the only two values which is going to give you the answer of 15. Because why have I taken 5 and 3? Because they have very clearly told these are natural numbers. So 5 into 3. 5 into 3 means this is going to be my 5 because this is greater in length and this is going to be my 3. That much is clear. Then what about this 48 here? So 48 here means again, what are the possible values? That is the first thing you have to see. Possible values means from 2 onwards, if you start 2 into 24, 3 into 16, 4 into 12, 5 won't come, 6 into 8. Then again, the reverse, you will get 8 into 6, 12 into 4, whatever. These are the possible values. So if I use, what is it? What value should I use where 5 plus x and 3 plus y is the same? 5 plus x is equal to 3 plus y. That means y minus x, that is I took x to the other side, should be equal to 2, which is the condition here that satisfies this. 24 minus 2 is 22, 16 minus 3 is 13, 12 minus 4 is 8, 8 minus 6 is 2. That means this will be 8. 3 plus 8 will give me 11. And this will be what? X will be what? 6. 5 plus 6 will also give me 11. The answer is option B. Any doubts, people? Any doubts? Take this question down. So there are two ways to do this question. The lengthy way is to convert it into a linear equation and try to find the answer to it. The smartest way of doing it is they have asked for rupees 1 and rupees 2 coins. And we know the total is 75. 15 into 1 plus 35 into 2, it is 70. 70 plus 15 will give me 85. What is that? So that is not an answer. Option A is eliminated. Option B will be what? 35 plus 30, which will be again what? 65, which is also not the answer. Then I have what? 30 plus 20 into 2, 40. That will give me 70. And then finally the last option. So all the three are not the, definitely it should be D, but let us simply check it for the heck of it. 25 into 1 is 25. 25 into rupees 2 is 50. 25 plus 50 will give me what? 75, which is the answer. Option D is the answer. All you had to do was just cross check it. 25 into 1, 25. 25 into 2, 50. Adding together, you should get this total value 75. Getting the idea, people? Such questions are so easy that you can easily commit very, very small mistakes. Clear? Any doubts here? Direct question it was, very direct. Answering from the options is always the best strategy as far as SSC is concerned. Now, tell me about this question here. 3 persons started walking together and their steps measure 40 centimeter, 42 centimeter, and 45 centimeter. What is the minimum distance each should walk so that each can cover the same distance in complete steps? Look at the question and look at the options and then take a call, Hamdan. Once again, the jury seems to be divided. You guys are all going to be surprised when I come with the answer. So, first of all, for such a question, when they give 3 different values and they ask you to find the minimum and all, they're basically asking you to find out the lowest common multiple, LCM. So 40, 42, 45. If I have to take the LCM, what will I do? First 5, 5 8s are 40, 42, 5 nines are 45. Then 3, 8, 3 14s are 42, 3 threes are 9. Then 2, 2 fours are 8, 2 sevens are 14, 3 as it is. So that is pretty much it. Correct. Now take a multiply all these three. 5 into 3 is 15. 15 into 2 is 30. 30 into 4 is 120. 120 into 7 is 840. 840 into 3 is how much? You will get 2520. What is it? Centimeter. 2520 centimeter. Is there any value here which is resembling it? This is that value. Why? 25 meter is 2500 centimeter, and 20 you add, you get 2520. Got it, people? Any doubts here? This is basically what you would have probably studied in your lower maths class. Highest common factor, lowest common multiple, or least common multiple. So that is what you're trying to take over here. This is like a very basic type of question that you can get here. Clear? As simple as it is. Always keep a cardinal rule in your mind. No question in SSC, that is 90% of the questions in SSC, the numericals as well as the logical reasoning, will ever have a problem that cannot be solved in less than 2 minutes. There won't be a problem like that. Every problem will have a solution. Maybe it can become a little lengthy, but if you are very well versed and if you have practiced it well, you will easily get a hang of it. You'll become familiar with numbers, and by the time you start solving it, you will know what is going to be the option. Clear? So practice is the key as far as SSC cracking is concerned. And because you are preparing for SSC, let me also tell you, the syllabus for SSC is similar to the syllabus for banking, similar to the syllabus for railways. It is similar to the syllabus of grade B RBI exam. Understood? So for all these exams, as well as what is it, SBI's banking exam, probationary officer exam, for all these exams, it is what? The same syllabus. So invest on this properly. You will end up with a job next year. Next year, this time, you will be having a job letter in your hand where your minimum package will be anywhere between 35 to 45K. Minimum I am talking about. There are other paraphernalias, other benefits to it. But yes, job security will be there with you. Clear, people? Any questions before we wind it up? All right, people. I think it's getting late and most of you will be very tired also. And I hope it was clear. If at all you have any question, please pass it on to the concerned course coordinators as well as the responsible people who are in charge of this. And just see to it that you pass it on to me. Even if you don't want to ask it, just see to it that you pass your question, and I will try my level best to answer it. Anything with to do with preparation, just feel free to ask. All right. So let's call it a day. Good night. Take care.